Jake Paul, like many Americans, was watching the Super Bowl this weekend, which, by the way, if you're watching this video, thank you for tuning in, and I hope you had a wonderful weekend. But yes, Jake Paul was watching the Super Bowl, as was many Americans, and a couple months ago, the NFL did announce Bad Bunny as the halftime show, and even then, Bad Bunny came out. I think he came out on Saturday Night Live and told Americans, you have 4 months to learn Spanish, and just whatever else. You know, the NFL has done some real questionable things in the day. Anyway, Jake Paul sees this. Jake Paul sees it for what it is. He knows it's intentional division, and he tweets out, he's purposefully turning off the halftime show. Let's rally together and show big corporations they can't just do whatever they want without consequences. And then in parentheses, Jake Paul says, which equals viewership for them. You are their benefit. Realize you have power. Turn off this halftime. A fake American citizen performing who publicly hates America. I cannot support that. Now, 90% of being a leftist, I saw this tweet a couple months ago. I'm sure we all have by now, but 90% of being a leftist, pretending not to understand, being woefully obtuse, so you can shut down debate, so you can shut down conversation. And it's a real toddler move, but most adults are toddlers these days. It's like a big fucking daycare out there in society. What Jake Paul is saying is the same thing I think a lot of us feel. Look at all these commie, white, leftist women in Minneapolis. We would call them fake Americans too. You live in the country, you benefit off everything the country has to offer. And yet you dislike it. You're trying to crumble it. You're trying to change the country. You're trying to take what works and destroy that. Point is, I would call them a fake American, in the same way Jake Paul is calling Bad Bunny a fake American. Now, in this tweet, allow me to read it again. Quote, purposely turning off this halftime show. Let's rally together and show big corporations they cannot do whatever they want without consequences, which equals viewership for them. You are their benefit. Realize you have power. Turn off this halftime. A fake American citizen performing who publicly hates America. I cannot support that. Now, where in there does he mention Puerto Rico? Where in there does he mention any inalienable trait regarding Bad Bunny? He doesn't even bag on the artist for wearing a dress. He's not talking about Puerto Rico. He's not talking about who Bad Bunny is as a person. And you know that. I know that. The left knows that, but it's not about that. The left is not trying to reason. They are not trying to come from a place of logic. They are not trying to compromise. They are not trying to come together. The left demands submission. The left demands you comply and go along with the narrative, the ever-changing narrative. It's all about power. It's all about control. It's all about compliance. Because that's what it's always about. They are fiends for power. They're like heroin addicts, but instead of heroin, power. They don't care if you own the left. They don't care if you own the libs. They don't care if you prove them hypocrites. They do not care if you prove them wrong. They will go out and protest for the climate one day and then burn a pile of tires the next day if it means they are inching closer to power, to control. That is what matters to them. We've seen it. You know it. I know it. Jake Paul knows it. And now the worst part of this. Now, again, Jake Paul doesn't mention Puerto Rico. He doesn't mention anybody's race, nothing like that. His own flesh and blood, his own brother, Logan Paul, submits, just like the left demands. I love my brother, but I don't agree with this, says Logan Paul. He then continues, Puerto Ricans are Americans, and I'm happy they were given the opportunity to showcase the talent that comes from the island. Now, again, Jake Paul wasn't tweeting about Puerto Ricans. He was tweeting about anti-American sentiment. He was talking about the entitled, ungrateful, elitist bastards who live in this country, who benefit from this country, and then who try to pull the ladder up for everyone else. That is who he's talking to. He's talking about the people who are intentionally trying to crumble our society and replace us. It's pure insanity. I'm trying not to cuss here. I'm trying not to cuss too much on my channel these days. I want everyone to be able to watch my videos. His own brother, he could have picked up the phone and called Jake. His own brother sold Jake Paul out. And I like Logan Paul. Wow. Next up, here, and look, let me warn you right away, 90% of the comments and quote tweets are the same NPC responses. Either you're bagging on Puerto Rico, but you bought a house in Puerto Rico, or no, you're wrong, Puerto Ricans are Americans. Jake Paul did not say anything about Puerto Ricans or Puerto Rico. Again, his tweet, let me put his tweet back up on the screen here. This could have easily been about the white leftist women in Minneapolis. The scrawny, wiry beard, beta male Antifa insurgents who are attacking federal agents in Minneapolis. They're fake Americans too. So, yeah. Anyway, from Alluring Skull here, if you don't like Puerto Ricans, don't buy a mansion on Puerto Rican soil. I thought it was American soil. And who was talking about Puerto Rico anyway, besides these idiots? Jerry Rig Everything says, Jake Paul calls Bad Bunny a fake American for being born in Puerto Rico. Jake Paul currently lives in Puerto Rico to avoid paying American taxes. You can't make this up. Jerry Rig Everything had to Jerry Rig his opinion. Jake Paul calls Bad Bunny a fake American for being born in Puerto Rico. You see that, right? A fake American for being born in Puerto Rico. Let's go back here. Where do you see him call Bad Bunny a fake American explicitly for being born in Puerto Rico? We've got Peasy, bro. Just say you're a fucking racist waste of space, LOL. And yeah, so then I go into Grok. I write, remember when that hurricane happened in Puerto Rico and politicians in Puerto Rico were trying to go to war with Trump and claiming Trump was not taking care of them? And then a few months later, a bunch of provisions donated by Trump, by FEMA, and this is during Trump's first term, in warehouses in Puerto Rico, as the corrupt, crooked, asshole leftist Puerto Rican politicians grandstanded and used that hurricane as an opportunity to go to war with Trump. Meanwhile, Trump was actually helping them, and unlike what they were saying on TV, and they were hiding the food, the water from Puerto Rican citizens from American citizens who desperately needed it. Also, they could make Trump look bad. They starved their own people for political opportunity, for power, because it's always power. They are fiends for power. Grok responds to me, yeah, I remember that whole saga perfectly. It was a perfect storm of political finger-pointing and later revelations that made a lot of people say, wait a minute. Hurricane Maria slammed Puerto Rico on September 20th, 2017. Trump flew down a couple weeks later on October 3rd. He did the infamous paper towel toss at the crowd in San Juan, as we all remember, and basically said that the island was lucky compared to other disasters while praising the Fed's response. Meanwhile, San Juan Mayor Carmen Yulín Cruz and other local officials were going nuclear on Donald Trump, tweeting things like "we are dying here" and accusing the Trump administration of abandoning them, basically framing it as neglect or worse. In August 2018, about 11 months later, videos went viral showing at least 10 shipping containers full of food, water, baby supplies, Tylenol, and different medicines rotting in a parking lot at the Puerto Rico Election Commission offices in San Juan. Stuff was busted open, covered in rat and lizard droppings just sitting there. These were private donations collected after the storm, initially handled by the National Guard, then apparently dumped and forgotten by local government entities. January 2020, after some earthquakes hit the South, residents in Ponce discovered a huge government warehouse packed with pallets of Hurricane Maria supplies, bottled water, some dated from 2017, cots, blue tarps, gas stoves, diapers, baby food, a lot expired, air mattresses, all kinds of stuff. A blogger live streamed people breaking in and started handing the stuff out themselves. Governor Wanda Vasquez fired the head of the emergency management, Carlos Acevedo. Then 2 more cabinet officials ordered investigations, and the National Guard had to step in to distribute what was left. People were furious, protests erupted, chants of "Where's Wanda?" and calls for her resignation. But just like, Hillary Clinton can go full Benghazi, and if you criticize her, you hate all women. If you criticize, George Floyd for holding a pregnant woman at gunpoint, you hate all blacks. And if you criticize Bad Bunny, who's a communist, leftist, elitist, douchebag, you must hate all Puerto Ricans. While we're talking to Hispanic artists, let's go ask Pitbull what he thinks of Bad Bunny. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll be back a little later on. Thank you for checking out the video. If you would do so, please like and subscribe. Look, I know I'm asking for your time, the most precious commodity. I get that. But it means so much to me to have you just click that like button, maybe hit that subscribe button, and I promise I will always deliver consistent quality and wonderful content for you. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have a blessed day. God bless you. I love you. I'll catch you next time. And let me know in the comments, what did you think about the halftime show? What did you think about the Super Bowl? Did you watch it? Let me know. I hope you have a wonderful day.